guys, it's Josh with Suzanne here at Rags-A-GoGo for Tidbits of Vintage, and a little something to think about right here, right now, as I talk about vintage. You know, I think I mentioned before that I've been in this business very close to 30 years. January 1st will be 30 years exactly that I've been doing vintage clothing. And another thing about the vintage clothing is that, well, I've been pretty much selling the same kind of items for 30 years, only it's 30 years later. What does that mean? So for 30 years, I've been selling denim Levi's. For 30 years, I've been selling denim jackets from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and now the 90s. For 30 years, guys, I've been selling really excellent stuff made right here in America, and it's a really great thing because people are really into it. Now, here is my concern. So I want to talk about a concern around vintage right now. Everybody's into it. Remember I said that? Like, there's a million different ways to do this business, and everybody's into it. Corporate America is really into it right now. Barney's, Nordstrom's, they're all getting into it. Well, there's only so much of it left, and I've also been talking about this. So, what am I about to say? Well, the last 20 years, conservatively, let's say 15, but I'm really going 20, things have not been made to last. Yes, it's all been based on vintage. It's all been based on vintage. However, it's not made to last like vintage. So where is the secondhand clothing business going? I'm not exactly sure. I'm a bit concerned. Because what happens, guys, when the stuff that was made to last runs out and the stuff that's not made to last isn't really sustainable enough to really last? What happens? Do we go back to wearing new stuff when we don't wear old stuff any longer because the old stuff really isn't worth wearing because it's old and ratty as opposed to the stuff I'm selling right now, which is original vintage? That's just food for thought, you guys. What do you think is going to happen in the near future, or not so near future, with the sustainability, vintage clothing, and everything we're doing right here, right now? So a little food for thought. How are we going to maintain sustainability when the last 20 years was made to fall apart? How are we going to do this? So think about it. Let's think of different ways of recycling everything that's going to be here because it's already here. All right, guys, we'll see you.